and that is the key to this track, and especially here, this is late in the day, this is the final moto of the day. When you're on the edge of the tire and you've really got the lean angle of the bike down, you know, can you hold the line?
We're not holding the gate any longer. It's time to go racing. Baggett with an actual good start. When was the last time we saw that? Roczen. Woo, gonna sweep through the inside, get it from him. Looks like you got Alex Martin and Barcia right there.
Looks like Barcia's gonna funnel into third as Alex Martin goes back to fourth. Where is Tomac? If there was one weak spot in Tomac's game plan, it's his start.
Yeah, I don't see him with that lead pack.
Not looking like inside the top 10 even.
There is Barcia trying to work on Baggett. That is second and third. Then Muscan on the orange bike. KTM trying to go after the 30 of Martin to get into fourth as Roczen tries to pull away.
Timing and scoring shows Tomac back as far as 20th right now. He was second in Moto 1. Possible player for the overall. Definitely in the points chase.
There is Baggett, and we'll see how he plays this. Normally, it's about halfway through the race before we really begin to see his true speed. Now he's starting up front. You would think that'd make him more dangerous, but he said several times he is almost more comfortable having to go through traffic than he is starting out front.
Well, he's got a good lead, or good start right now, and it'd be interesting to see how Ken Roczen here, 70 on this Red Bull KTM, how he manages the lead and the pressure that comes along with that. Remember, Roczen has won the MX-2 World Championship. That is the 250 class.
Oh, Barcia!
Good
Try to go to the
bam,
side. Whoa! They scrub the jumps together, kicking the bike sideways, and Barcia takes over the #2 spot.
That's exactly what I'm expecting to see out of Justin Barcia right now, is to be more aggressive in the beginning. That is his strength. That's how he won Moto 1, as he got out front on these riders and pulled away. But just 1 week ago, it was roughly this same group of riders, and at one point on the last lap, Baggett had the overall one. Barcia and Roczen get together. Roczen goes down, that hands the overall back to Barcia. But this is where it's time to get mentally tough, physically tough.
This 250 class fun to watch. Listen to this. Guys revving it out side by side, sticking wheels in on each other. And how do you pick a favorite out of this group? They're all over the racetrack. Each team's had their strengths, their weaknesses in different areas.
I'm not sure.
A little gap right now of everyone else.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the transponders were correct in the beginning, but now we have Tomac, who is second Moto 1, up to 7th at the stripe, 8 seconds off the lead.
Barcia leaping downhill over that tunnel, and now it's closed the gap up on Roczen. He's going to try to leave Baggett behind and go for the lead.
Well, that's, like I said, that's Baggett, or Roczen's. Barcia's strong point is he knows the urgency. He knows what Blake Baggett is capable of in these situations. And he knows that he has to get out front and make it happen now and not wait.
Inside line, they're going to come together. Barcia able to slam the door. Can Roczen fight back? Roczen's on that outside line that was so strong in the first moto. Wow. It pays off here. And moves like this are so physically demanding on your body. Things like that, that's when you just sort of tense up and you're holding on and you're trying to hammer your way past, like Barcia trying to get the lead. And Roczen, on the other hand, he's trying to hold on to the lead, and naturally your body just tenses up. That's when you really start to use a lot of energy. El Chupacabra, Blake Baggett they call him, he's really good at being efficient with his energy. So he can sit back here and watch what's going on and try to capitalize on that by being smoother, by not making mistakes. Baggett, this is the section where Barcia got him a lap ago, and look, he's zeroed right back into the #20. This is intensity. I feel like we use that word non-stop in this class, but there's no other way to describe it. There's no holding back. These guys are giving it everything they have from the drop of the gate. In a 30-minute plus 2-lap race, whoa, that is Malcolm Stewart out. He had crashed out of Moto 1. He had gotten as high up as 4th in the order. And now they got
Peter Banner.
Banner stuck in his wheel. And they get to see all the trick marks on that. Worked a tough day today. He's been riding very well the last couple of weeks.
And I can tell you what, I've been there before where I've crashed right underneath of the fans, and you look up and the fans are screaming at you, and more than likely you're all, you know, head's all messed up. You not know what's going on. So hopefully, Blake, you're all right and you can get back on it.
All right, here's Barcia in the number 1 position, trying to get after Roczen for that number 1 position with Baggett all over him. Just as soon as it looked like we had a battle for first and second, it has become a battle for second and third again. Big uphill triple. This is going to be a battle of will right here.
This is when these top contenders in this championship are in Moto 1. It was like you've seen some really gritty rides. These guys really getting down and dirty, see how bad they want it. Who is more determined? Early in the championship, Baggett clearly had the speed. But to me, it seems like these riders are starting to step it up, saying, okay, I'm not just going to give this up. Now it's time. Bike's working good. I'm feeling good. Training's everything there. Yeah.
Well, these young guys got a lot of pride. I don't want to say they're cocky, maybe just confident, but the fact that Baggett, when he turns it up, is able to just blow by guys, it cannot sit well with him. So you know that a guy like Barcia is determined to stop that from happening today. And in the first moto, Baggett was all over Tomac. And Tomac responded in the same fashion. I'm not going to let you just go by me. I'm going to fight you for it.
Yeah, and the interesting thing right here for Baggett is there is another Suzuki rider. You've got Morton's teammate, Jason Anderson, who qualified 4th. Now is just behind this group. He's putting some pressure on them also.
Yeah, Musquin is staying with them, in fact, closing in a little bit. And meanwhile, Roczen beginning to distance himself from Baggett and Barcia. So the KTM riders responding here. I'll show you what it's like on this track. This is from the first moto. Gareth Swanepoel gets stuck in the gate.
Wow, clips the gate. Look how far behind he is, and listen to the rocks and dirt hit him.
Try to find an area to make passes.
Speaking of Anderson, there's Anderson on the far left right there. A horrible start in Moto 1. Top 10 in Moto 2.
This is what it's like to be on board Gareth Swanepoel out of South Africa, giving you the view. This is from Moto 1. We'll be back with more from Moto 2. Back here at High Point Raceway, battle is on. NBC Sports Network's coverage, second 250 Moto from High Point Raceway. It's Marvin Musquin on number 38, Red Bull KTM, and the Geico Honda of Eli Tomac. They are battling for 4th and 5th. Tomac did not get the start that he needed to run with those leaders, Jeff. He's got to make as many passes as he can, so Musquin's first on the list.
Well, Tomac, yeah, his start was absolutely horrible. We're not quite sure, but it's pretty looking like it was outside of the top 20 even. On lap 2, whoa, he was up to 7th. And so Tomac really putting on a strong charge right here as he needs to. Remember, he was 2nd in Moto 1, looking at a chance of maybe taking the overall. But if that's going to happen, he's really going to have to do something spectacular, because right now he's about 10 seconds off of the leader, and that tells me that these guys are running a pretty good pace. And remember, Musquin was your fastest qualifier earlier today. So Musquin has the speed, but definitely did not have the intensity in Moto 1 that the lead group had.
Oh, there goes Tomac to the inside. Musquin didn't really fight him for it.
Yeah, it just, to me, it looks like Musquin is just not quite on the same intensity level. He's not battling as hard. And that comes down to just, how bad do you want it? I mean, look at this. And now he drops back 3 or 4 bike lengths. Tomac is extremely driven. I mean, he is, intensity-wise, he is on a whole new level this season, and it shows.
And we get a battle for second brewing again. Barcia and Baggett, they haven't been much further apart than this the entire race. Now watch the countdown clock, top of the screen. It's a 30-minute and 2-lap moto, so we'll count that clock down to 0. Around that 15-minute mark, halfway through the race, that's usually when Baggett starts to hit his stride.
Yeah, and I just caught Baggett taking a look over to see where the leader was. That's Red Bull KTM's Ken Roczen. He's now started to drop out of the picture. And Roczen has never won a moto here in AMA Motocross. So
has a 4-second lead right now. And yeah,
there he is,
hill
top
sections,
right of your screen.
They got to look to the next lane to find him. Roczen putting it down. Let's see, is Baggett going to play the strategy? Is he going to go all chupacabra on us in the second half and start eating these guys up out of nowhere like he likes to do?
Yeah, and that's where that nickname came from. And just 1 year ago, he did the exact same thing, where it just, like at the halfway point, right about where we're at right now, it seems like he just finds a way to find another gear and just really ups it. But in Moto 1, the 2 Geico Honda riders, Justin Barcia wins the Moto, Tomac was second, and without Barcia's crash, I believe a lap rider, he hit a lap rider, went over the bars. Barcia might have been 10 seconds, 15 seconds out of the group. But right now, I've been really impressed with both riders. Barcia for not giving in to Baggett's challenge. Barcia is tough. His nickname is Bam Bam, and that's because he will literally fight you bare knuckle brawl all the way to the end. And sometimes it ain't exactly pretty. And some riders maybe think, hey, that's a little bit too rough a riding. But right now, Barcia's really showed a lot of maturity, and these riders are really riding at an intense level. But Roczen still 5 seconds out front. He's not even in the picture.
And a 2:13 for Roczen, a 2:14 for Barcia, a 2:13 for Baggett. Roczen about a half second quicker than anyone else on the track the last time around. So the lead is a full 5 seconds. If you follow this battle for second, just want to mention with Roczen, what's the difference? The first moto today, he finished 5th, probably his worst moto of the year. This is now probably his best.
Yeah, no doubt. And earlier today, I was really looking for a great ride out of Roczen. And in Moto 1, it didn't really seem like he brought the intensity. Didn't really bring the heat. Like, hey, you know, what are you out there doing? Maybe they made some switch to the bike setup or whatever. The difference is right now he's comfortable and he's putting in some fantastic laps and he's dominating your Moto 1 winner.
You said that Barcia is a bare knuckle brawler type of guy, but we saw Roczen doing some shadow boxing before this moto to get him fired up. So sometimes the intensity is all it takes, but you got to be consistent as well to win this title. In this class, these guys are known sometimes for pushing too far. You got to be able to ride smart if you want to win this title.
Yeah, I think, you know, you just have to be really smart in this sport. It's just such a crazy, you know, atmosphere. You know, you need to be there every weekend. So if you're going for the win and you're going too hard and you go down in a crash, it can take you out. So you definitely need to be smart and smooth and be up there every weekend.
And that's what Barcia has done. He salvaged a couple of good finishes on his bad days this year. 2 bad starts 2 weeks ago at Freestone in Texas. He pulled out 4th and 5th place finishes. He's fiddling with his goggles or his visor there.
Helmet something,
jump. Yeah. But he has been consistent on his bad days, and he has won on his good days. Right now, he's going to have to weather the storm. Is Baggett, now that we're past the 15-minute mark, about to up the pace? Is Barcia ready for that if it happens?
Well, we're going to find out, and it's going to be great for us here watching on NBC Sports Channel. Great to have motocross on this network, and I tell you what, it's great to have the former world champion Ken Roczen here racing, and this has been a really impressive ride. You know, the Europeans typically, when they come over to the United States here to race, the heat becomes an issue. Not all of them, but a majority of them say, look, our races are just not as hot. So how do they acclimate to that? And that's what I've been interested to see with Roczen, is how as this championship wears on, is he going to acclimate to it and be able to show us the speed that he has? So far, so good. This moto, he turned the fastest lap of anyone on the track here, and we're well past the halfway point.
It's now 6.5 seconds the lead. He brought it up to 3, then 4, now 6.5 seconds, pulling away.
Incredibly focused at this point, just riding with ease.
Well, to give you an idea of the standard set, this guy with 3 straight third-place finishes to start the year, that sounds phenomenal right there in the title hunt, but a lot of people were saying, what's wrong with him? Why hasn't he won yet? Yeah. And now we're seeing how much potential he really does have as he pulls away at High Point. Unbelievable racing. It doesn't seem to matter where these top 4 riders in the 250 class start. They end up hooking it up in a battle while we're away at break. Great action. Justin Barcia and Blake Baggett duking it out for second. Baggett has got the number 2 spot. Then Barcia made a mistake, and that has opened the door for his teammate Eli Tomac front 4th to try to get to 3rd.
I tell you what, these two were 1 and 2. Meaning Barcia here, the number 20 on the Honda. His teammate, Eli Tomac, 17 on the Honda. They're 1-2 in Moto 1. They were the cream of the crop. And in this second moto, Tomac gets a horrible start. I did not think we would be seeing this type of result out of Eli Tomac.
Not from that far back.
The effort, I'm now convinced that Eli Tomac has the ability to ride all.
Wait a minute, that's Baggett. Baggett has crashed on one of those off cambers. He's handed over second and third back to the Honda boys.
And it looked like Tomac makes a little mistake, going to give Barcia some breathing room.
Shake it up
Barcia
again, and
almost goes
Barcia makes a
down.
mistake. You talked about the intensity with this group, Jeff. You're going to see mistakes when these guys are hanging it out over the edge like this.
This is incredible, and at the start of the day, we really felt that it pinpointed to the top 4 riders in the intensity level. Roczen was off the pace a little bit in Moto 1. He finished 5th in Moto 1, but Roczen now out front in Moto 2 by 8.5 seconds. Great ride here for the German rider.
Yeah, as all that has happened behind him, it's only allowed him to build his lead. And Ken Roczen, coming off a very rough Moto number 1 where he finished 5th, was a ways back, just a totally different guy here in Moto number 2. Send it down to Kelly with a little more information on Roczen. Kelly.
Even though Kenny didn't get the finish he would have wanted in Moto 1, he told me he had a really good feeling about today, and he said he thinks that once he gets one win under his belt, it will help motivate him to just keep going after even more. And also I asked him about the earlier rounds. He said he was having some issues with suspension, and they've made a change. Now he feels like he can race and be more aggressive and feel safer at the same time. So he said that kind of explained maybe why he hasn't charged to the front in some of those earlier rounds.
Well, Ken Roczen knows what it takes to become a champion, and if he's not comfortable, it looked like he was kind of laying up a lot in these early rounds. This moto right here, he's showing his true potential.
Well, you get one, the rest start to come easy. We talked to Roczen about that earlier.
Yeah, exactly. I think once I can get one of the moto wins, it motivates me a lot more, and I think from then on, I just try to keep doing the same thing to catch up some points too. I know it's still early in the championship, but that would be great for me. It would be great for the team and also for the fans. So I have a feeling today. Let's hope that's a good one, and I'll try my best.
Well, I remember my first Moto win here in this championship, and as we get closer, we have 7 minutes plus 2 laps. As we get closer, he's going to start thinking about it. I don't believe that this duo right here, these Geico Honda guys, are going to make it any easier.
They're not making it easy on each other. Look at this, Tomac around the outside.
And there's a real competitiveness between these two teammates right here. Oh, Tomac was committed. He wanted to go outside, but the lap rider there really was in his way. He thought that was an opportunity. But right now, they are really charging hard right now. They're about 9.5 seconds behind the leader, but this is also for the overall.
This is scary to watch. These guys are getting thrown so sideways in these ruts, and they just keep it pinned. Yeah, you would not know their teammates with how badly they apparently want these positions from each other. Now that they're bumping on the track, but they are going for it, and it's the way it works in motocross. You got to race everyone the same.
Yeah, and let me explain this. This isn't like a stick and ball sport or whatever where you're teammates and you're really supporting everyone. Yes, everyone on the team works together to make the team better, but these are individual racers, right? This isn't, there's no team points awarded. These two champions these guys won the Lights Supercross Championship this year, and they're both incredibly determined to win the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, okay? So they have the opportunity to have the same equipment. Obviously, the team shares information on the bike settings and everything, and if you're Ziggy and everybody Factory Connection, this is a good day. This is what you want to see. Now, what you don't want to see is any rough riding or anybody taking each other out.
You don't want to see this if you're Mitch Payton and this Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. Baggett down off the track trying to get back up. He had just crashed about a lap ago and lost second. We'll try to reset this here in a moment and figure out how much ground he has lost.
Yeah, and I find it interesting because 1 year ago at this track, Baggett had the ability to just outrun everybody. And his plan this year, his game plan was to kind of take it easy, to not put himself into the red zone, into an area where he could make mistakes. I believe that the competition has changed right now. And this big 4 that we spoke about, even Muscan trying to get in there, make it a 5. This has raised the intensity level. I believe here at this track, Blake Baggett came in with a tremendous amount of confidence. I believe he's been caught off guard a little bit. now consequently forced him into some mistakes.
Yeah, so he lost a spot to Muscan and Jason Anderson. So now Baggett back to 6th, and these guys are still duking it out. Tomac and Barsha.
Baggett down again. Either that or slid out. Didn't look like he was picking the bike up, but he certainly, oh yeah. Clutch lever was bent down. They're trying to bang that up into the right position. So now the wheels have fallen off for the Pro Circuit rider. Mentally, he's starting to make mistakes. He's your points leader. Now he's going to give up a serious amount of points. Well, let's take a look at it here. This is Baggett coming around the first turn area. He's now completed the lap. This is a really intense off camber. Skips the rear wheel out and actually gets his left leg caught in there.
Did he miss the rut with the rear tire?
Yeah, just miscalculated it, got on the throttle a little early, and didn't get both tires in that rut. And it's a tough situation because that rut is really small to begin with.
Tomac and Barsha, forget about being teammates on the same bike. Specifications-wise, they nearly were on the exact same bike. They nearly made 2 become 1 as they collided in that corner. This is unbelievable, this battle for second.
If they were to be on the same bike at the finish, who gets...
We might find out. I don't know. We might have to make a ruling. As a battle for second as Roczen's getting away late into Moto2. Next Saturday, 2 heavyweight contenders slug it out on NBC Sports Network's Fight Night. Thomas Adamek takes on Fast Eddie Chambers. Coverage begins next Saturday, 8:30 Eastern with Fight Night featuring Eddie Chambers.
And it's fight day here at High Point. Jason Wygant, while you were reading the promo, we just had a position switch as Tomac takes over second from Justin Barsha, and that gives him the overall.
I can't believe this. He might go 2-2 and make it happen. The math is really mixed up considering that Barsha would be looking at a 1-3, which I believe would edge that out.
You got me, yep. But I got too excited, jumped the gun there.
Well, first of all, the battle has been unbelievable between these two. But second of all, Tomac has come from way, way back to even get to the part where he can challenge Barsha for that position. An unbelievable ride for Tomac, even if the math doesn't give him the overall.
Well, and there's Roczen right there.
What?
So the lead was 9.7 seconds last time around. That's going to change. Tomac is on the pace. He's within about 3 seconds of Roczen. And that certainly, if Tomac was able, that could switch this whole thing up here. There's a lap rider 404 in there.
Oh, a little mistake there from Tomac, but I'll tell you what, he's been riding the edge. He's made a couple of those while battling Barsha just because he's pushing so hard, and he's done a good job, Jeff. Even when the feet come off the pegs, the right hand does not let off the throttle, and he doesn't lose much ground.
I'm telling you, fitness-wise, this is really a display for Eli Tomac, because the pace was so intense between Roczen and Barsha and Baggett. And Tomac came from a horrible start, and now he's in second and still closing on the leader, the 2-lap board this time around.
He's got him in sight. It was 9.7 seconds. He took 6 seconds off of Roczen's lead the last time around. Roczen ran a 2:21. What happened there?
That was the deal. Roczen either caught some lap riders, made a big mistake that we didn't see. Something happened, but now the intensity for Eli Tomac, he is so focused, he is so driven. I've been in this position where you're just, the team's cheering you on, you hear the fans cheering you on, and you're just completely, in another world, another mindset. And let's see if Ken Roczen, the German rider on the Red Bull KTM, can hang on. It's going to come right down to it, and this would be for the overall.
And only a few laps ago, it was Tomac and Barsha in just an unbelievable battle for second. Now that Tomac has cleared Barsha, he's opened up about 4 seconds on him.
Yeah, see, and the difference is Roczen has been out front riding his own race. He's never won a moto here in the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. Tomac has came from the back. The intensity is there. He's got passing lines. He's been hammering the whole way. He's been uncomfortable the whole way around here. Roczen's been out front kind of doing his thing. They're going to come together with about a lap to go here unless Kenny can wick it up and keep a little gap between him and Tomac.
Oh, Jeff, I've heard you guys say that before. That's one of the hardest things to do in this sport if you run the same pace lap after lap to suddenly turn it up.
Yeah, and Roczen just took a look over his shoulder, and there he is. He finds the extremely hard charging Tomac just bouncing through. He's not worried about the lines. He's just worried about just hammering his way to the front. Look at this. Another lapped rider in there. We'll see if that works to the advantage of Tomac.
Now, Tomac has always been so precise, so technically sound. He won that Supercross title this year, but making these passes today by pure aggression. Here's the move around Barcia.
Oh, it just squares him up right in that top part of the spectator viewing area just before these rollers. Forces Barcia to the outside. Tomac still holds the line, and look at the fans here at High Point cheering him on. They're seeing a great display of fitness and determination.
Here it is. The white flag is coming out, and Tomac is right behind Roczen. Roczen has had control of this thing for every single lap except this one. Now he's going to have to fight if he wants to win. And if Tomac gets him, Tomac gets the overall for the day.
Yeah, so that's the deal. Roczen trying to win his first moto of his career in this championship. Tomac going for the overall win. Lap rider in there, Kyle Peters, takes a look over his shoulder and sees this lead battle coming by as Tomac trying to hold the low line. Remember, the next left-hander is where Tomac passed Barcia for second.
Oh, he's got a lot of lines picked out, including that one. There's the same spot. You called that he went after Barcia there, and he goes after the lead on the last lap.
Are you kidding me? Eli Tomac.
What is this?
He's a man possessed.
From way back outside top 10, maybe 15, 20. We couldn't even find him on the first lap. And he has come all the way back looking for the moto win, and that would give him the overall. Roczen just has to be in shock right now. He had a 9-second lead 3 laps ago.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He's in shock, and now he's found out that Eli Tomac has just had such an incredible pace. Now Eli, he just needs to keep charging, but he needs to keep focused, cool it down just a little bit here. You don't want to throw it away at this point, because this is one of the best rides maybe that I've ever seen, because I'm not sure if our timing and scoring was right, because he was 21st on the first lap. He was 7th, which is conceivable at this pace on the second lap, and now passed Anderson, Baggett, Muscan, Barcia, and Roczen to not only take the moto win, but to take the overall. This is a pretty special ride we're seeing right here.
Yeah, you don't mean one of the best rides you've ever seen from Tomac.
No.
One of the best rides we've ever seen from anyone. He has pulled his own El Chupacabra, coming from nowhere to pass all the top riders. Through Baggett, through Barcia, through
this
Muscan,
is next level stuff.
Through Roczen. And I thought what he did at Freestone, coming from about 6th in both races to dominate and win both motos, was unbelievable. This is a totally different level. Eli Tomac wins High Point. An unbelievable charge, a signature ride. Roczen has to be saying, what is it going to take to get one of these moto wins? He has been so close so many times. A close second again.
I'm super disappointed. You know, the first race was totally sandbagging. I don't know what was wrong. Then the second moto, you know, my goal was to go out there and put it down. And the moto was awesome. I had some amazing lines, and you know, they were right behind me after the start, and then looked like I just pulled away. So that was really good. But again, 2 laps before the end, I went down and just totally. I'm just super bummed. You know, I'll look forward to next race, but I'm just disappointed right now.
Yeah, talk about, what do you think it is? Is there a mental barrier? Because you've come so close a number of times.
I don't know. It's not even that I wasn't in a big fight, you know. I just slid out over the rut. I don't know if it's a bit of concentration, you know. I definitely have to work on that. And even after that, you know, I should have kept it and just blew it. It's the way it is, though, you know. Got to keep my head up. I think I was the only guy until now who is on the podium every weekend, even though it's only a third. But anyway.
And a fantastic finish. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, guys.